Good evening, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to tonight's Craftin'. I am very pleased to announce that we are here with creative partner Tabitha Barclay. She is from Michigan. She is doing tonight's Craftin'. It's super exciting. We're very happy to have her. Tabitha, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I was introduced Tabitha Barclay from a little town in Michigan called Ionia, and I've been with Kiwi Lane since 2017, and I've been a creative partner ever since, and just excited to share the creation that I have done with this month of sketch challenge is what it's called. It's all new to me too, so I'm getting used to it.
Yes, if you didn't know, we started doing monthly creating challenges geared around scrapbooking and paper crafting. They correlate with the Kiwi Club kit. So this month's Kiwi Club kit was Create a Life You Love. Sorry, you're just dinging away over here. It's Create a Life You Love. So we have the Love Life templates that you saw on her screen. It also comes with some beautiful kind of fall inspired paper. It is part of our Kiwi Club subscription that we do monthly. So Tabitha is going to be creating off of that sketch inspired to get you creating from start to finish. I do have a super duper special Kiwi Lane announcement. If you are watching this live, you are definitely clued in, and I will put the link in the chat, but also you'll get an email here in a few minutes. As you know, World Card Making Day is October 1st. We never miss an opportunity to celebrate World Card Making Day and create handmade cards and share them with those we love. It's an important value for us. So we are celebrating World Card Making Day. And actually, in about 5 minutes, you are going to have access to brand new product for World Card Making Day. A cool sale that we're doing on some card making templates, as well as the opportunity to RSVP for our live event happening on October 1st. So stay tuned to your emails, participate in this live event with Tabitha. Be sure to comment, say hello, and join us for World Card Making Day on the 1st of October. You'll get an email here in just a few minutes. But until then, and for the rest of your evening, spend some time with Tabitha. She is using this month's creating scrapbooking sketch as her inspiration. She's using the Create a Life You Love kit. And so we are going to let her get started. Tabitha, do you see the event and the comments on your tablet?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Okay, Tabitha, I am going to hop off. I will be in the comments, so if you need me, you'll see me commenting as Kiwi Lane. And if you need me to hop back on, just shout out and I'll get back on Zoom. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Have a good evening.
All right. I guess I see that there's been 2 comments, but can't really read them for some reason. Oh man. All right. So I'm really excited to share with you what I created. This was actually the first sketch challenge that I have done. So and I'll be honest, I'm like to make cards more than I do scrapbooking. My main problem is that I fail to print my pictures, so then it's like then I don't do them. But I have like a whole stack of Kiwi kit clubs that I am going to scrapbook eventually. So I'm just getting into this more and more. I do love it. So this month, September 2022, I have in front of you, I just printed it off enlarged here. This is the sketch challenge. Now, as you see here, it's using the templates that came with the Kiwi Club for this month. The Dolly is here. I have, you know, the hearts are here. And then the combo hearts or collage of hearts is here. And then we have a little like flag type template. Oh boy. That we also can utilize, which they used here in this. This is just an idea. It gets our creative juices flowing. So for me, when I was looking at this, it's like, okay, I know I want to use all of my templates that I got for this month. And this is the kit that was mentioned with all the cute papers and sentiments that come with it. And it shows you here that we, you know, all of the templates that came along with the kit. I love the club, Kiwi Club. As I said, I've been getting it for years now. I have stacks of them that I need to catch up on, but I know I will. But so anyway, I just wanted to show you that. So when I was getting started, it's like, so I'm looking at the sketch and I'm like, okay, first I wanna, for me, I like to start designing. So, and then I like to pick my papers, the paper that I'm going to use. What stuck out to me the most when I was going through the kit is this yellow paper with the flowers and the black leaves. It just stuck out, and I'm like, oh man, this black polka dotted paper, it just pops. So I knew right away that I wanted to start out with this pattern. And I knew that I wanted to add some leaves and things like that. So this paper, green paper, also came along with it. And then I started looking at what background do I want to use. And I could have used the black background, but that was just too much. So when I put this orange next to this paper, it just popped. And the black and the green, it just all just flows so nice together. So I'm like, this is what I'm going to use. Now that was, you know, it kind of takes the guesswork out of it because everything correlates. It's just, I just love the paper that we get with these kits. Okay, so then I'm like, I know what I want to do as far as that. Then I started to pull out some of my other, oh shoot, I have this right over here. I have everything kind of like laid out. I cheated a little bit. I actually pre-cut stuff out because I'm like, I know that I don't want to take up, 4 hours of people's times. So what I did was I started, I had these placemats. I was like, I think I want to use this because also we have a second challenge about doodling, and this is perfect for doodling. So I thought, okay, I want to use this. I just knew I wanted to use this. And of course I want with the dolly, I put the dolly here, and then I'm like, okay, now I need borders. I want to do a couple borders just as the sketch challenge had. Here were the borders, here and here. So I'm like, okay, well, I want to grab a couple borders, and I saw that, and I'm sorry, this is, I want to back up here. This is placemat number 3, the a la carte placemat, and this is the Love Life number 5. So, and then I pulled out these. This is the layers with Sunnybrook Lane, because again, it's got the doodles, and I thought, and that would look really good together. So I placed that here, and then I'm like, oh, I could do this, but I wanted to have it go up. So I placed it there. I was playing that is the Kiwi Lane product. We play to create. So I just started working it. And then I'm like, okay, I know I want to use, here's Love Life #1. You know, what do I want to do with this? I just placed it up here. I'm like, well, let's just keep it there for now. I was like, that seems like a good spot for now. And then the sketch, pull this back, had these hearts right here. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stick to that because I really like what it looked like. So then I got this. Then with the other Love Life 4, and I'm just gonna stick to the original idea of keeping it down here. So that's the sketch. Just put that up there for now. Let's see that. Then it's like, okay, I want to bring in some more templates. So then I started kind of looking through my collection, and I honestly haven't used Laurel Crescent yet, #4. At first I had it over here and I'm like, okay, that looks really good. And I almost went with that idea. But then as I started playing, I really decided to go with it over here. Okay. That is Laurel, what did I say, #4. And then I remembered that we had some other kits. This was Orchard 5. And I'm like, I want to put some more flowers on this side. I always try to make it even on each side. So I put some leaves over here and I decided to put it there. Then we have plant 4T and plant 7T. Decided that I wanted to put a flower on here. And then to match it, decided to put some more flowers over here. This is plants 5T, plant 6T, and this is another plant 4T. I got really lucky. I was a lucky girl. I got an extra plant 4T when I got my kit. It was a bonus for me. So I know I got 2, so I can play on each side. So this is the design. This was my play time. This is what I decided that I wanted to do. And so then I started, designing with my paper. As I mentioned, the club kits come with sentiments. This I cut out was the love. And it was like, man, that was like perfect because I picked the orange background. So just, and like I said, I cheated. I've already cut out everything. I didn't want to, spend the time cutting everything out. So place that there. And so with the paper, I kind of had kind of a backup moment because I'm like, these pieces that I picked, the placemat and the dolly, they're quite big pieces. So they take up a lot of paper. So for me, I was like looking through the kit and I'm going, I could use this, but I don't want to because I want to, these kits have enough to make 3 page layouts. So I'm like, so what I did was, I know we all have this. I got out my cardstock stack. These are my pastels. And I actually brought in another color into this mix, which is this color here. So I started cutting out, I cut out my dolly and I cut out my placemat in this color. And I decided I was going to use this to line up my pictures and have a frame per se around my pictures, or at least a different color background. Okay, so as I mentioned, I do have everything cut out and everything inked, but I have not adhered it to anything. So a few things though that I want to kind of point out. With this paper, I decided that I wanted the borders to be in this paper. One thing that I learned really early on is I want to try to preserve as much of the paper, have scrap left over so I can, like I said earlier, create more layouts with it. So when I started doing this, I decided, you know, some of this is going to be hid, not this side. This side's going to be the full, you know, width, depth of it, height, I should say. So I did end up tracing this full, but then what I did with this side, which I will bring this over here, is I ended up actually making it a little shorter. And as you can see, like I cut off about 1 inch of it to make, so just so, because a lot of it is going to be hidden, I wanted to have enough space for my picture, so I made this thinner. So I got it all cut out. Hope this is making sense. Doing here. So I ended up with this and that. It seems like this project was like a first for me for a lot of templates that I hadn't quite used yet. This border, you know, it has a lot of detail. It took me a little bit to cut out, but it wasn't bad. It just basically, you know, you just kind of move your scissors around as you cut, you know, and you just take your time and you just, you know, cut. It really went fast, actually. Just, you know, a little more so than what other borders take. And then, as I mentioned, the borders had the little doodles. So I ended up doodling. I just used black ink pen. Actually, Kiwi Lane actually sent us Creative Partners a nice one, but you know, any ink pen would use. So this was what I used to fill these in, and I decided that I wanted more than just what was here. I did do the ones that were there right on, you know, I filled all these in, but then I decided to add just a couple extras, and so I doodled and I, you know, put more in. Okay. So what was that? And oh, I need to get my stuff organized. Goodness. All right. So I had got those all cut out. And then, as I mentioned, the big pieces, since I didn't need the whole doily, because this is going underneath the border, I only did half of it, a little over half of it. So right here, can see where I actually, oh, what did I do? Honestly though, I kind of played with this because I wanted these flowers. See, so when I was doodling, I was kind of moving them slightly. It doesn't match up exactly perfect. But you know, I was just playing with it. And so I just doodled in black, and I also doodled the lines that we have here. Yep. And then I ended up with this really cute thing. I think what I'm gonna do, since I, you know, did not hear anything, while you're like cutting out, you know, if you have these templates, the same ones I have, or the templates that you have decided to create with, I'll just kind of let you catch up here, but I'm gonna go ahead and start hearing things. So, this. Let me see if I have any comments here. If I can see my comments. I still can't see comments. Not really sure why. Wondering if it's because I'm on not on my Facebook page. I'm on Kiwi Lane Designs Facebook page. I'm live here, so bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that didn't work for me. I switched over to my page, my actual page. You can see I have a few comments, but can't read them. Weird.
Tabitha, it's Sonia.
Hi, so
Hey, you're doing great. Hey, on the comments thing, so if you actually click the video on your iPad and you swipe, I believe, left or right on it, it'll say see comments. I don't know, I can't remember if it was swipe left or swipe right. There you go. And
there we go.
Perfect. You'll see the live feed, and then you can scroll through there and see all the comments. And I would try and keep your screen like that the whole time, if you're able to. If not, you just remember how to get back there. But yeah, just swipe, and then you'll see comments. And then you can also scroll up or down either way.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna hop out.
Okay. Thank you, Sonia, for
You're
coming.
welcome. Yep.
Oh yeah, I see some comments now. Let's see. Linda asked, did I ink? Yes, I have already pre-inked everything. Honestly, didn't wanna, you know, I did. I went through and I inked every single side, you know, getting in the little crevices. I decided I wanted to do that. I inked the doily, I should say. I inked that all the way around the outside there as well. Yes. Okay, and then we have, let's see, Trisha. Yes, if I said the wrong mat number, you're correct. I apologize. I am using place mat 3. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here and being patient with me. Let's see, I'm scrolling up here. Chrissy from Connecticut, Trisha's from Michigan, Carol, hi, from Arkansas, Heather's from Texas. Thank you, Linda, for the comment. You said you love my design. Thank you so much. And then Pamela as well. Thank you. What was the name of the mat? Okay, yeah, mat number 3. And the colors, thank you. Yeah, I love the colors in this kit too. All right. What is the name of, let's see. Yeah, placemat 3. Yeah. And fancy frills. Thank you, Sonia. You're piping in and helping me here. I keep forgetting to say what the templates are that I'm using. So, okay, I have caught up with all of the comments, and I will try to keep looking for those. If you have any questions or any thoughts for me, I do want to ask opinion on something. First, I'm gonna lay this down. I did not ink this though. I think I might just at least the 3 sides. That's a great idea. So I know there's different types of tools that we can use for inking. I basically just stick with what Kiwi provides. I purchased through the website is the little fingertip. I think it holds up, for the most part, it holds up pretty good. And then the, of course, the distress ink. I typically don't ink over my other papers though, because I have so many times like dropped on them, as I did right there. Or I'll swipe and then I'll like hit it. Yeah. One thing I love about paper crafting is if you make a mistake, if you do something like that, you can always cover it up. That's the beauty of it, of paper crafting. Okay, so that was the only thing I think I didn't ink. That down now. I'm gonna go ahead and stick this here. I'm just trying to get to the edge as best I can. Yeah, it's starting over here because I have OCD big time. It's like it has to be. I'm one of those people that like takes me longer to design than anything because I'm so picky. I'll be like, I like that, but yeah, no, I don't really like this. And I'll spend like 2 hours just designing. I think what the problem is this paper that I had, my cardstock, I think it's just a touch shorter than my 12 by 12 that I got in the kit. Just a touch. I think that's all right though, so I'll do that. And then go ahead and adhere this border. But before I do that, I just thought of something. Better not do that until I adhere the doily. Keep saying dolly, doily. Okay, I want to put this right about here. I'm thinking. Go ahead and move this out of the way for a minute, because I think I need to just turn this slightly so it fits. So again, in my trying to get things done prior to this and not boring everyone to death with all the small little time that it takes to do all the detail, what I did here is I added pearls to the middle of these, and so I want to make sure that my border is not going over top of that. Okay, let's see if there's any new comments. Dana, hi, from Colorado. And nope, no new comments. Okay, and I already know that where I want to put this little flag. As you see, I did a little more extra on here. I did doodling. Doodling is my thing. I'm really loving. I decided that I was gonna doodle around this love, and then I was gonna add the doodle and the dots to that, and then I inked around it. Just adding just that extra touch to it. Okay. It's looking crooked to me. The other thing I like about this, the scrapbook adhesive runner, it sticks pretty good, but you know, if you get to looking at it and you think that, hey, I need to adjust, as you just seen, I was able to pull it up no problem. And I just realized, so I'm using the pictures I selected. I decided I wanted to do 4x4 photos in here. As I said, I wanted it to be like the background, the matting, the photo frame around it. So I actually can move this border over slightly. There we go. I think that's going to be really good. Okay. And then, again, mentioning the templates that I use Orchard 5. And then I used Plant T 4T. And where'd it go? Uh-oh. Well, that's weird. Let's set it over here and now it's missing. It was Plant, I don't even know now. I think it was Plant 7T. But it's this one here. Huh. I just had it. I don't know what I did with it. It's the only bad thing about these little tiny templates. If you don't put them, I always try to, like, when I'm done, I usually just put them in this little container here so that I don't misplace, but I'll find it. I'm not worried. It's here somewhere. All right. So when I was looking at the colors for, I already mentioned, that I decided to bring in the green. So that there. decided to bring in green. What gave me the idea of using black leaves here was because of the black leaves that was on this border. So it just kind of like inspired me. And I wanted to do yellow, keeping it with that. So what I did is this, where I found the yellow was on the back of the sentiment here. Let the fun begin. I knew that I wanted to just keep this intact because I like that and I will use that later in a different layout. But I was okay with not using what was on the bottom. And so when I saw this was yellow, and then I traced 2 of these plants here. I'm gonna go ahead. I know I don't really need another one, but for those who might be new to Kiwi Lane, I want to just show you, that it's really easy to trace. It's really easy to cut this out. I've come across a lot of scrapbookers that say, "What, you have to fussy cut?" And I'm like, fussy cut, what does that mean? And they're like, that means, you're not using a machine to just cut it out for you. You're actually cutting it out. I'm gonna lose that G. Yep, I am gonna lose that G if I do this. But I wanted to, it's okay. That's all right. I just wanted to show you how fast this is. So a long time ago, I learned a trick when you're cutting out flowers like this. You just want to cut it away from your other paper, and then what you want to do is you just want to hit the tops of them, going around, which I already did that side, and just go at the tops, just do it in a circle. Then you're basically just cutting these out like that, one at a time. To me, tracing and cutting is therapeutic. I can kind of just give my day, my mind, and just make it blank and just focus on what I'm doing. I mentioned I'm from Michigan. What I didn't mention is I am married. I've been married for 16 years, and I work full time. I have 2 adult children. So we are empty nesters. I have 5 grandkids. So I love spending time with them, but I work full time, and I work in human resources. So if anybody's familiar with human resources, there's some days that I can just come home, my mind is just racing, overload, information overload, people coming at me with questions, concerns, issues, around staffing, and this person's not getting along with that person. You gotta get the idea of how my job can go sometimes, and then it's like my job to guide it and just make sure everybody's happy as best as I can. So it can be pretty intense job. So that when I discovered Kiwi Lane, and I just you call it fussy cutting if you want, but to me it's very therapeutic. It's a task that I can do, that I enjoy, and that I can just block my mind out, from my day, from, what do I got to do tonight? What do I got to do tomorrow? Getting with my grandkids, just family time, and just, I get me time when I do this. So I just want to show you inking. Sometimes it's really hard to get in these corners. Paper thank goodness, is forgiving. We can, it doesn't matter if we bend it when we're inking around it. It actually makes the flower pop more. I was in a class that I took a couple Saturdays ago, and I cannot remember the lady's name. I'm so sorry. I think her first name was Linda. I made a layout, a couple layouts with her. But she suggested, the Q-tips. Some people use Q-tips to get in those little crevices, and I'm like, that's a great idea. I haven't tried it yet, but it's a really great idea. Anyway, so I just want to show you. I mean, it took me, I don't even know, I didn't even, what, 5 minutes to make this little flower. And ta-da, it's done. So no, I didn't cut it out with a Cricut, but hey, it's the joy of creating it myself. So let's see if there's any comments here. Okay. All right. Okay, so Pamela asks, when you ladies do scrapbook pages, do you use Kiwi Lane on every page? Well, if I'm answering that, I'm going to say yes, because until 2017, I was never a scrapbooker. I was never a scrapbooker. I was never a paper crafter. I didn't even know what to even do. I didn't have the interest. I didn't have the know. So I was at a crop weekend. My aunt invited me. She said, I said, I don't have scrapbooking. I don't do that. And she's like, well, what do you like to do? And I was actually a sewer. I sewed pictures. I can show you really quick a project that I did. Not at that event, but this is the type of thing that I was doing. I was sewing, these signs. This one's Count Your Blessings. So anyway, I brought a project such as that to that crop. And when I was there was a Kiwi Lane partner who was there, and she actually had a free, I think I paid $1 for the materials, but make a card, and it was like, my aunt was like, oh, try it, I think you'll love it. And I did it, and she was right. I fell in instantly love with paper crafting, and Kiwi Lane is the main thing that I have for paper crafting. So I'm sure there's other ladies here in the chat that can, attest to, maybe they don't, but I do. Let's see. I definitely play well with other. So Sonia, of course, said, Kiwi Lane does play well with other companies and products. That's a definite for sure. I've seen a lot of really cute layouts. Just for me personally, I haven't had an opportunity to do that, but of course I buy a lot of jewels and other, I don't know, other things like twine and things like that I add, buttons and things like that, other craft materials that I use. But anyway, so that's kind of long-winded answer, but that's what it is for me. So with this project, as you can see, this also has some cutouts. Now I know that you can take an what do you call those, the little knives, and you can cut these out. But I chose to actually use the that paper that I pulled out of my cardstock, and I cut them and I placed them there. And then also I'm learning that in order to get things to really pop, adding additional dimensions is using these white markers or pen. This is a fine tip gel pen, a white one. And I literally just traced around this. And it just adds, and we don't have to be perfect with it. It just, that's the beauty. And it looks so cute. I really love it. Decided not to do anything on this, but so I just kept it as is, but I did ink around this black leaves as well. And I do that because so you don't see the white. Actually, this is gray on the other side, so it hides it a little bit, makes it blend. I'll go ahead and adhere this down. I think I left it right there. Okay. Next, what I did was I wanted to put these hearts just as the sketch had them here. So what I did was I decided to use the black dots. This sentiment inspired me because it had a black heart. So it's like, that's great. I love that because it looks really good with the paper. How I did this is I did not make two separate cutouts. I actually laid it out. I'll do it right here. I laid it out like here and here. And I traced it just like that. Traced it all the way around, just holding this little heart onto the big heart. And I traced around it. And then what I did from here is I actually took my white gel pen and I made the distinctive heart around it. And I did that by, and I just did that little heart. I just did that. And then I did my gel pen around it. Easy peasy. And then I added a few more little doodles. I decided that I wanted to actually put some lines around it, like faux stitching is what we call it. The dots were already there, so I just kind of like I just stayed in between the dots and went around it. And I just think it just makes it really pop. I'll put that down right here. Okay. That still looks crooked to me. I don't know what I did. Okay. Here goes my OCD kicking in here. Yeah, see, I am a little crooked right here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so before I add the photos, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I design the other side of the page. Already mentioned. I already mentioned that I used the Fancy Frills border. This is Fancy Frills number 2. And I used number 3 on the other side. Okay, so with my card stock, I decided again that I didn't want to use up all my paper, and I was gonna be stingy with it. So I went ahead and I traced this. And before I picked it up off my paper, after tracing around the edge, I just, with a regular black ink pen, I just doodled that because I just thought it was really cute and I thought it would look really cute. And then when I started playing around with it, I decided I wanted to add some of these little flowers as I did on the other side here. So I just doodled a couple after I will say, after I decided what size pictures I was going to use. So I ended up deciding I wanted to go with 2 4x6s, and that's how I ended up deciding where to place these. The other reason why I decided is when I was doodling, I know you can't see it, but that's what I was talking about earlier about covering up mistakes. I actually hit my, it slid, and I had a little mark over on the side, and it was driving me absolutely crazy. I guess I could have flipped this over and started over, but I didn't want to. It was too much time already invested. So I'm like, well, can I, I thought, oh, I can put my picture over it. Then I'm like, no, I'm not going to want to cover, my lines that I doodled. So I decided, that's the creative mind. Decided to make those heart flowers, doodle flowers. So then, so I'm going to go ahead and before I adhere this down, oh, you know what? I did forget something on this other side. I forgot that I made these strips. So I'll come back to that. Promise when I'm all done, you'll see the whole thing. Amazing how disorganized I can get in a very quick time frame. I had everything all laid out and ready to go. All organized. And now I'm not so much because I'm looking. Oh, it's under all this stuff. Well, there it is. Goodness, I had already moved it. I want to make sure that I'm placing this. I decided that I wanted to bring some leaves over to here. And as I mentioned earlier, the Laurel Carescence number 4. That kit is so, the set is so cute. All the different templates that come with that set. I don't have them all out right here, so I'm not going to spend the time digging for them, but I know where they're at. They're in my stash over there, but it's just so cute. And obviously I didn't need to use the whole template because I was, tucking under. But so I stopped right about here. But again, I just, took the time, traced around this. And then I doodled these lines around it just to give it a little extra pop. Okay, so I want to make sure before I start adhering all of this that I kind of got an idea where everything is going. Right there. That's another reason why I love the photos. Not only, you know, we use them to you know, crop, you know, your picture. I actually have 4x6 pictures that I'm the full things that I'm using. So I just, you know, it helps us figure out our placement of our photos. And this is what I ended up with, I do believe. Actually, I'm gonna grab my actual photo that I placed here. I want to make sure that I am. Yeah, that was it right there. Okay. All right, I'm good. And so what I'm gonna do with this is a little trick that I learned a long time ago, is before I start to adhere, make sure I have it right where I want it. And then for this, I know that I'm gonna cover, this with my picture. It's gonna slide under. So I am going to just trace around this like that. So when I pull it up, I know exactly where I'm placing this. This is all going to be covered. And then I'm going to pull this up, holding that down. This is going to be covered. So I'm tracing that so I know exactly where I'm sitting that or adhering that back down to. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this. Let's see if there's any new comments. Hi, Abby. Thanks for watching. Tracy, I like that you added the flowers from the doily. Oh, okay. Yes, thank you. Kathy, yep, I love the runner. Let's see. Heather asked a question. I have scrapbook for years, and once I found I was hooked immediately. Now I can't do without it. Yes, amen, sister. I love that I have been able to pare down so much of my supplies, random embellishments, and etc., and use my templates to create beautiful, complete pages. So much less clutter for me, and my soul is happy. Yes, yes, yes. And then it looks like Sonia has responded to you. I'm right with you, Heather. I love it too. As I mean, when I go cropping for my weekend go, I mean, I literally just grab my templates. I have it in a box. Most of my templates, I'll show you. Sorry, you got my head in the way here. Most of my templates, are right in here. This is where I keep my templates. Here, and then I also have for like the, you know, my tinies, I have my box, you know, full of my tinies, my borders. And if I'm just gonna, you know, create some cards over that weekend, I'm just basically grabbing this and my paper and yeah. There definitely Kiwi Lane allows us to pare down. Oh, okay, so sorry, kind of like got off a little bit there, but I just love to share. All right, so back to a hearing. Oh, I dropped this on the floor and guess what I found? Yep, my tiny plant 7T. I knew I would find it. Okay. So this, as I mentioned, I had marked right where I'm going to put this down at. Before I push it all the way down, I know that it's going to lay over top of my placemat. Oh. I lost my runner on the floor too. Everything started falling on the floor. Oh. Getting razzled here for some reason. Okay. So, all right. So I'm looking for my lines here where I traced this. So I'm going to put it right back down where I like it. Actually, I'm going to move it over just slightly because I'm noticing that I want, there's my OCD again. I want the sides to be about even. That looks good to me. Okay. Then it's over here. I'm gonna here my border. Be careful. I don't wanna, I gotta put the pictures in there, so I wanna be able to lift that up. Okay. Whoops. Oh, darn. Oh, you know what? It's okay. So I'm saying darn because right here where I traced it, and I remember I decided in the last spare of the moment there to change my mind and move it over slightly. My line's off slightly. But again, that's going to be covered with a picture that I have selected to put in this layout. So I'm not worried about it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put my picture in this because I know this is the picture that I want right here. And then the other picture, this is my daughter, Tori. She got married this year in July. I'm so happy for her, finally. Her husband, Ryan, they have been together since high school. Been together for 10 years, have 2 children. And of course, me being mom, like, when are you getting married? Finally, happy mom here. They tied the knot. Okay, so this picture I like up there. And this one I'm putting down below. It was a really pretty wedding. They had it outside. Line this up a little bit. Much. Don't want to cover the. All right. So go my OCD. Go. I'm just going to bring this down a little bit. Love it. And then, you know, with the sketch challenge here, these hearts. I decided to keep them down below. And I'm gonna actually, see, I wanna try to figure out where I want these. I think that's gonna be perfect right here. Before I do that though, I had made, I actually like to add a lot of strips to my layouts. This is, I don't even know, 1/4 inch. Measure it so I can give you the dimension. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, you can make these strips any length you like. This one is ½ inch. It's a ½ inch. And then this one here. So I cut a ½ inch strip from the black dots, and then I actually use this color, came from actually came from the back of this. So see how that matches perfectly. And my, oh, it was really cool. And I flipped it over. I was like, oh yeah, my cardstock matches pretty good to that. So that was good. So that's what I did. I just cut out another strip. Adding strips to me just gives it another layer, gives it another pop. And from our sketch, it looks like they added some strips as well for our ideas. So again, just got my idea thinker flowing. So what I'm going to do here though is, well, I think I can use a tape runner. I'm gonna, but what I did with this little tiny strip is I actually glued it with my aqua glue. And I know it's tedious work, but I don't mind it. I did ink all the way around these strips. You know, I know it's hard because they're tiny, but I just kind of work my way down. Go ahead and do this one. Whoops, got it on the end there. Okay. Let's see. I just noticed I had put this on my mat. I hope it's not offensive, but I agree with that statement. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and put this down before I put the hearts down. So cool thing about this picture, it's not cool. It's I should rephrase how I just put that. What I love about this picture, that's how I'm gonna say it, is Ryan, this motorcycle that they're sitting on, they took pictures with, belonged to his dad. His dad had passed away before they got married, so they wanted to honor his parents, and took a bunch of pictures with the bike. Just really that was the cool part, you know, of the story, is I just love that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. This says, and so together they created a life they love. I just thought it went really good with these wedding pictures. And I don't know who's been hanging with me this whole time, but I mentioned that's one of the reasons why I don't always scrapbook so much is because I don't develop my pictures. But it's like this forced me to decide, like, I actually had them printed, you know, sent them to Walgreens and had them printed. Okay, the only thing left to do on this page layout is I decided I was gonna put some these flowers collage here. Again, I used the plants 6T here, you know, cutting it all out and inking it. Plants 5T, which is behind here. Used the black, but decided I didn't want to have a black flower, so I turned it around and used the gray. And that's here. And then of course our plants 4T, the flower, and then I added the pearl. Okay, just one more little strip there. And oh. Love it. Okay, let's see if there's any new comments. Heather, thank you. I love your ways. You can so relate. Let's see, Linda. Pamela Rouse, 99% of the time I use Kiwi. Oh, okay. Yeah. I use a few other products, punches and such. Oh, Linda Hansen is asking for my partner number. There are some who want to know if the templates you are using are for sale. The templates I'm using are not for sale. This is my collection. I am a creative partner. I do have some templates, not these ones though. This again, you know, came out of the Kiwi Kit Club. So those are exclusive. We can buy them though, once they become available out in the shop. Usually I honestly don't even know how long before that is. Next month sometime, you know, we should be able to possibly get those. You know, I honestly, I'm do this very part-time, so I don't sell a ton, but that's okay. I do this because I love it. I do have repeat customers that come in. If you're new on here, I'm sure my link will be added to this, and so that you can kind of check out the shop, no pressure. That's what I love about Kiwi Lane. I love to share. I don't have to sell. So that's kind of my take on that. So good question though. Let's see. Linda, I think I want to order some. Can you give me your partner number? Yes, I can give you my partner number. I can add, I think I can add that to, I'll add a share link to the comment section here. I think I can do that. And say that all of the templates she used are for sale in the shop. Yes, Linda, you're correct. They're all for sale in the shop. She said, okay. Sonia says, share your, everybody can probably see these comments. I don't even know why I keep reading them. It's because I'm reading them for myself here. So just, if you can give me just one moment on that. I do want to, before we go here, I do got to finish the other side of the page because there was a couple things that I did miss. I'm going to go ahead and put this up here though. Just can see this. There's that. I'm gonna bring this back down because I had actually made a strip for this side as well. I'll go ahead and adhere that. And I decided that I was gonna do just like on this side here, how I brought it up about an inch. I decided instead of, putting it here, which I could have, I just thought it popped really well and matched the other side. So decided to go about an inch over with this as well. Oh, there goes my LCD slightly off. Okay. And I need to make sure I get it straight or else it'll drive me crazy. That looks pretty good. I like that. Okay, now I'm going to introduce you to some really cuties. What I decided again for my pictures on this side of the layout, I used wanted to use 4x4s, but as you can see, they don't quite fit because I wanted to have some background all the way around the picture. So what I did was here's my daughter's family. Here's her two children. Yeah, Carson and Olivia. So what I did was these pictures were 4x6s, and that's what I was talking about earlier with these photos where we can use to figure out where do we want to crop around these pictures. So what I did was put a little mark, and then I used my cutter here and I trimmed it down. And then what I did was, so I would have a little bit on each, I trimmed a little bit more, as you can see here, trimmed a little bit more off that picture. I think I took it off the bottom, but that's what I did to get it to offset. So I have this photo. I have my little Olivia. She was the flower girl. She was adorable. Her big brother, Carson, pulled her in a wagon. It was so cute. And then I have Carson. He was the ring bearer. And so right about there, I'm going to go ahead and adhere these down. Okay, there's that. I think that's about right. Yeah, that's about right. All right, I know I'm being kind of silent here. This is like I have to concentrate. These are my pictures. Oh goodness. Anyway, I don't know, they're kind of off a little. Ah, this turned out so good. I love it. After looking at this, I mean, me and my LCD, I could have moved this doily up slightly, but I think it works. Not gonna be too picky. Okay, so those are the two layouts that I have created for the September 2022 monthly sketch challenge. Oh man. So that's one thing that I wanted to show you in the and I'll pull up before we all go here. I know there's some people were asking about my number. I just wanted to bring to the attention, I don't know if you can see this because I can't see on Facebook anymore, but I know it's in my space here. In kiwilane.com, we actually can download the Kiwi Club digital ID book for absolutely free. So in this book, you see this was from the September Create a Life You Love. Here's the, the templates that I use today. There's just it's just loaded with ideas, inspiring layouts. And so in here, here's the monthly create challenges. We can enter to win prizes of $25 credit by going to if you go into Kiwi Lane, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a link here shortly to the Facebook page here. But we can go into the community. We have a community. You can get registered for the community, and absolutely free. You don't have to commit to buying anything, but it's just a way to join a community of scrapbookers, card makers, DIYers. There's a community for cooking, and just there's a lot of different communities in there. If you create something with the sketch layout here it is. This is what I had showed you. If you create it and you post it out in the community, then you enter the drawing. And for each month, at least for this month, there was 3 different challenges. So we had scrolling too fast. So we had the sketch challenge. When we do that, we have to make sure we're putting hashtags September 2022 sketch challenge, making sure that we're putting that in our in the body of our post. So that enters us into the contest. And then so that you can see that there are some other inspiring ideas in this book. This was created by Susan, very cute. It shows close-ups, and we can actually hit this, and then it gives us more information, takes us to a video and such. Here's what Shiloh created. If you don't have the September Kiwi templates, and you have other templates or that you can use, she used the gadgets, for the bigger pieces, and it's very close to the same layout that we did, just a different, different templates. This is really cool. Here is Debbie created this layout here, these 2 layouts, and just full of ideas. And then here's challenge number 2, self-care. Kiwi Lane celebrated 13 years, I want to say, in business. And so they put out this special paper. It says it's the create, it is in the kit, this create to create paper. It's really cute. And then The scissors is an a la carte, and that came out of the vault. That's also in the shop. You can get that now for the time being. And then as you see that, other templates are pulled in. That's from Groovy. Recognize that right away. Just more ideas, just more ideas. And then challenge number 3 was, well, let me see. Well, you can download this for yourself, but the challenge number 2 was create layouts of you actually creating. So, I have some pictures from some scrap weekends that I could do this with. I want to add another layout to the challenge. And then scrolling down further, sketchy style. This one is if we create layouts with doodling, try doodling. So just, you could use any of the templates, but we do have quirky doodle sheets and all kinds of templates that we can just doodle. And then as you see, just more ideas, more inspiration ideas. There's that let the fun begin. I ended up, I think, cutting that G off a little bit, so I guess maybe I won't use that. Oh, actually, I don't know. I probably can do something with it, but anyway. So just wanted to let you know that this is available in the shop. These are some other templates that were used in the layouts that I just scrolled through. Scallops is a really fun border to use. And that's it. We have these craft-ins, several each month. I jumped on this one for today for the Kiwi Club Crop Night. And that's it. And we can actually RSVP, and well, you guys probably did that. So some of you, but I just wanted to show you that. And then really quick here before we go, I will see if there's any more questions, and I will go ahead and create that link, my share link to the shop. And I'm back on Facebook. Let's see if I can. Okay, I just shared my link, so it should be coming up soon. Oh, yep, it's there. Okay, so let's see. Congratulations on your beautiful layout. Thank you, Suzanne. It was a lot of fun creating that. My daughter, I might end up giving it to my daughter, but I don't know. I love it so much, I might not. But anyway, let's see. Well, let's see. Heather, thank you for sharing and inspiring tonight. You're welcome. It was a lot of fun. And make sure you join again for other creative partners. There's so many cute layouts that are created. Like I said, I joined one a couple weeks ago. I'm just learning new things. All right, ladies. Thanks again for joining me. And we will be posting in the blog. I will list all of the templates that I used, and take pictures and stuff like that. So hope to see you in the community. Have a good night. Bye.